All right, I'm back, guys, with an update. I've been working on some crazy things. That's why I was away for a while. I was working on one of the product where you could make videos out of the thought, whatever you have. And later I realized there was another website called Flora and Fauna that was way better than what I was trying to do as a user experience. So I hauled that product. Thought I would come back to that later and started working on some things like with a music gen where you could try to give a beatboxing and then try to get out the audio from that particular beatboxing. Um, that was interesting product, but my intention was to do it completely on the device, like mobile device offline, and that's where I had a struggle with where once I quantize the model shrink to almost one tenth of the size and decrease in the quality. But even then, that was not even working because of the resource constraint on the mobile devices, and that took me like 3 weeks or 4 weeks for me to like figure out the whole jazz, try all the possibilities, and eventually trying to figure that it is the limit with the mobile device itself. And then mean in that process I worked on the Android app where you could denoise the audio without having the microphone itself, and that is completely off the device or on the device. And I also transcript the audio, so for which I used defilter.net for denoising and whisper for transcripting the audio. And keeping that aside, I was also curious to on the thought that where I have worked for a while, then I see these companies coming out and overnight my progress is gone, or like or gone in the sense like I was mm, not interested to move forward because there is already product out there, and I thought there is no point. Now then from that thought I realized, look, it is a common problem for everybody, and having AI been working at a so much speed where, like, for example, there is a, I mean, there is a, recently you all know that with a chat GPT you could generate images in a Ghibli format, or as a matter of fact any type of format as you require. Now that brings to the point that there is a certain set of freelance workers, graphic designers whose work is gone overnight, right? From there, I picked up the thought that okay, I need to bring up or sort out this data where you need to show or track what are all the jobs that are being replaced by the AI, and how you could upskill, or what are the some of the jobs that will survive, kind of a thing, right? So for which I developed a website called WorkEraser.info. That's what I wanted to show today, where just the progress on how the it's already live, but I wanted to show how the website is, right? So this is the website I was working on, and it is currently live, but still in the staging or in the beta stage. Now this website basically tracks all the industries that been targeted or been replaced or is in the safe or in the risks place with the AI. Certainly, it has another section knock off that describes about all the industries that are being knocked off or at risk with the AI. Certainly, with the AI tools that are being produced, which is contributing to this replacing or whatever you call with that AI, right? And I also had another timeline to show how much, like at what time these jobs would replace, or what all the things that would be affected with this particular progression in the AI. And certainly there is a blog tab where you could post all the blogs and everything. And this is just a beta stage still, so I'm trying to incorporate more changes into this website, where I wanted to add more forums, more queries, and for provide a means for people to interact. So kind of an idea. So the idea is to basically track or give information to people who have been interested and who are not aware what is happening with the AI around the world. And I will keep adding updates to this. And currently, I used Firebase data store to just populate this data, which is more of a static data. But going forward, maybe this weekend, I'll I'll use the actual database. I was thinking to use a Superbase to curate all this data together and kind of structure or streamline this whole data, which would give me more insight into how this data could be organized. So how did I pull this off? And me building this product itself talks about how software developer jobs are at risk, because I'm an Android engineer by profession, but I was able to pull off this website, which is a front-end engineer job and DevOps engineer to make the website live. But I used all the AI systems to just make this live without me knowing a complete pipeline, right? So that itself talks about how software developer jobs are at risk with AI. But having said that, is it really a thing? First, let's talk about how did I pull this off, right? First ideated the thought with the ChatGPT, then I created wireframes, then I created mockups, and then I took the mockups to the cursor IDE, then I generated the whole website. Then for the database, I used Firebase. Then for deploying, I used Render. Uh, so this is whole suite that I knew as a pipeline to connect the dots. And as a matter of fact, you don't even need these details to connect the dots. You have tools like Dev, Bold.new, where you could naturally communicate in English and build the website from scratch and deploy just on the click away. Right now, having said this, is it you think like is a software developer jobs are going to be obsolete? No, absolutely not, right? Because this power of AI is where it brings more time to the user and it elevates uh, the work-life balance, and it also elevates the speed that you could build the product itself. Now, how how would this impact the way we work is going forward, it would be more, I think it would be more of ideating the thought itself than having the critical thinking on or judging the thought itself, like what is good or what is right or how would you want to proceed forward. Because as an AI, it could build anything, but what is your job is to direct that AI on how to move forward, or that would lead you to that particular position where you want it to be as in the product development phase. Because imagine it like you standing and you have like a thousand routes or like a n number of routes that you could take, and that all will be directed with AI. But if you leave completely to the AI, you could go it in any direction, and you would end up in some random place, not the place that you want to be. So as a user, you needed to, or as a matter of fact, everybody can be an entrepreneur, everybody can be product designer or product owner going forward. It's just that how you want think and how you wanted to take the product forward determines your success or your uh, I don't want to call it a failure, but success or failure of the product itself. So that is all from me today. Thank you guys.